Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Ryan, and today we are going to be not playing, we're going to be explaining Punch-Out. It's not the most basic stuff. I'll probably have to edit this down, and even still, it'll be kind of long. So if you have a short attention span, I'm sorry, but or if you don't have too much time, but I hope you can understand. But I just wanted to go over every little thing, and I also wanted to make some little like fun skits and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what takes up most of the time. So perfect. Okay, well let's duplicate that tab. Let's go into its project right over here, and let's unpack how it works. So first off, we got Little Mac, and Little Mac, this is HP. It is set to 75 in the code consistently at the beginning of fights. However, it can be taken down by opponents. And if he loses a life, he'll come back up. He can come back up, but he'll come back up with only 65 health. He can only come back up twice. So that's kind of the thing. And opponents also have something very similar. They have opponent HP. And opponent HP is basically how much HP the opponents have. Pretty self-explanatory. But the interesting thing here is, unlike the clicks variable that we have in our current game, like Punch-Out Champions, this is actually kind of the opposite. Instead of the variable going up when we punch stuff, the HP is like dropping, right? So when Little Mac punches, I don't know, Gabby J or something, right? Like this this absolute buffoon right over here, right? Oh, Little Mac's so happy. But let's say Little Mac, he goes, ooh, 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 and Gabby J's over here. He's just like, ooh, you know? So then Gabby J's health would start to go down accordingly. So basically, how that's done is through this simple code. Basically, we take change opponent HP by, not by 1, by Little Mac punching question mark times -1. Now you can call this something else. Basically what this means is Little Mac's damage. So this is what he does. And he deals 5 damage on the first knockdown, and in this game specifically, then deals 1 more damage per punch on each knockdown after that. But per punch it starts off with 5. Then it goes like 1 more for each one of those. So basically, we'd be saying that whatever it currently is, whatever his damage output currently is, which is based on how many times the opponent has been downed, that times -1 is how much damage will be dealt to this guy. Because it would be like 5, the variable would equal 5, or like 6, or 7, or 8, or 9, or whatever. And then you take that times -1, now it's damage, because it's subtracting that from the overall health, right? So that's how damage works. And well, here we can do we can do something even more simple. Look at this, Little Max HP. Take this away. Oh wait, no. Not even this. It's not even this. It's set opponent punching to whatever positive value you want to set it to. It will be made negative by something else, but if you're not comfortable with like how the negatives are handled, you can always just make it negative here instead of positive, and then you don't have to include anything to make it negative. Just know when you're looking through Zappy's actual code, it will appear as positive, and if you are to enter a negative value when you're actually working with that, then that will not be so good for you. So, if you're looking for a guide to Zappy's actual engine while you're editing it, making like your Champions 2 or 3 or whatever, or like Return of the Champions or whatever you want to call it, it is useful to note that that you want to that you want to have it be positive. Okay, so that's damage out of the way. That's how you know when an opponent deals damage. Now let's look at an opponent attack to see what they actually do. So yeah, opponent punching here, it says like punch strength. That's how much damage it deals. If it's set to 75, it's an insta-kill move. 75 or above. Unless you change max health to above 75, which is kind of like, ugh. So yeah, you will need to add opponent health and max health variables. And instead of clicks, it's like damage, or like little Mac punching question mark and opponent punching question mark. Those honestly sound kind of weird, so just call it like little Mac damage or opponent damage, whatever. You can rename variables. It's not a big deal. Okay, now we've got damage out of the way and HP out of the way. Basically, just need to add 2 more variables, maybe change the names of some things. It'll be fine. Change a little bit of how it works due to what you saw. So instead of it being positive, it's like negative because it's damage. Okay. Now we got direction or dodgeability. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Okay. So, watch this. Set punch type. Ooh, set punch type to 0. If that happens, if his punch type is 0, then he will not be able to deal any damage to you no matter what you do. If you're standing still, if you're moving, it does not matter. You can do something where you specify like you can have a specific punch type where if he dodges either way, then he'll take damage. So he has to like just not move or like duck or something. I remember I made something where like you do high punches to get over like low attacks from opponents, which would be simulated with like green, with like their hair turning green a little bit before they did an attack, and so that would be your cue to know, or like something about them turning green, like their boxing gloves or whatever, and that would be your cue to know that you gotta dodge it. But that's unrelated to what we're doing here. It's not any other punch out game. I'm just saying, for an example, that's kind of what I did for my title defense project a while back. But yeah, you can see 1 is left dodge, so that would be like Mac going like this, right? He dodges. Ooh, I'm dodging. Ooh, I'm coming back, right? Gabby J was launching his punch. He was like, ooh, ooh, and little Mac was just like, haha, dodged ya, loser. And now he's coming back, and Gabby J is just like, well, shoot. So he's back to his normal sprite. And then 2 would be a right dodge. So a punch type of 2 would be a right dodge. So that would basically be, oh, he dodges this way away from from the hook, right? And he's like, oh, I dodged you. Uh you're such a trash gamer, Gabby J. And Gabby J's angry, but what can he really do about it? He's the first guy in the game. He's just gonna sit here angrily and be like, "Ah, rah, 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 rah." You know, he won't really do too much. Whatever. Um, a punch type of 3. This is very interesting. This this is the duck fight. And by the way, those dodges, like it would turn it to -90 when he does the right dodge, and then it would turn it back to 90 again. So when he ducks, it'll just look like this all the time. And basically, if let's say let's get our good pal Super Macho Man over here into the foray. He's coming. He's like, oh, Gabby J, here, get out of here, bro. And Gabby J's just like yeeted off the plane of existence. Perfect. And so Macho Man's like, okay, now it's my time to shine, right? So he goes for the spin punch, And Mac's like, lol, I'm down here, noob. And Macho Man's just like, oh my gosh. Maybe if I try again, it'll work. Oh no, that's not the correct one. Maybe if I try again, it'll work. So he does it again. Lil Mac's like, bro, I'm still down here. Like, bro, what are you gonna do, huh? And then he's just like, oh, now I got you. So he goes, he's like, oh, Little Mac's right there. I can beat him now. And Little Mac just ducks. Super Macho Man's just like, gosh darn it. No. So, ducking can be very important in the late game, particularly against Super Macho Man, but also against a few other opponents, like a good pal Dragon Chan, right? Oh, Dragon Chan. Zappy did this guy dirty because he has a horrible kick sprite. It looks like you have to dodge away from it. Here, let me just give you an example. Look at this. Boom. Size. Okay. When you see that foot, do you think, oh, I gotta duck, right? No, when you see that foot, you don't think, oh, duck. No, you think, oh, get the heck away. Yeah, it's kind of stupid, honestly. But yeah, we could talk about sprites for all day. It doesn't really matter. What does matter is just like how those dodges work. But now that you know how those dodges work, Um, number four is you can dodge however you want. And certain numbers can be combined. So one or two would be like a left or right dodge, but you can't duck. Two and three or one and three would be like that respective dodge and also the ability to duck, etc., etc. One, two, three is basically the same as four, but four will always just allow you to dodge no matter what. So even if you add extra punch types, it won't matter. Um, yeah. So there's a lot to cover here potentially, especially with knockdowns, and I think our second lesson will be dealing with knockdowns. But as for this lesson, let's go to. I'm sorry, I've been recording for 18 minutes, but hey, it was kind of worth it because I'm doing like the skits and stuff, right? And I'll do some editing down, so it's not really a big deal. Okay, so let's bring Gabby J back in here. Congrats, Gabby J. Okay, so this is his opponent attack variable. Um, this determines what opponent it is. When you have like different opponents, then you'll probably want to use this variable. I would recommend not having them all in the same sprite like we're doing currently. If you look into my project, you can see that there are a few like empty sprites here, like look, I have Glass Joe, Piston Hurricane, Bear Hugger, Ball Bull, Kid Quick, Pizza Pasta, Soda Popinski, Great Tiger, Phantom Blot, Dragon Chan, Super Macho Man, and Mr. Sandman, right? And I'm going to add the unique code and sprites there, and you'll need that, and you'll need this for that. Um, or you could just do like if opponent equals like Soda Popinski or whatever. But anyways, now that we've established this, it's forever. If fighting equals 1, which is basically like when the fight starts. So if we're adding something where like you can continue on to the next fight, then there'll be something, it's called opponent set in this game, where like it sets everything up. I can go a bit more into that later, but I forget exactly how it works right at the moment. But basically, it does a lot of things, and one of them is setting fighting to 1. So basically, if that's what happens, and the opponent attack is above 0, basically he's loading up an attack, it determines which one it is. And here's the interesting thing, because here we go. When I receive opponent set, so opponent set is both a variable and a broadcast. If opponent equals 1, here's the stuff. Ooh, goes. goes towards the stuff, and something else will be making his feet move during this, which will add a bit of intrigue. Let's see. So here, this is where the fun begins. This is how you do randomized attacks. So basically, after every opponent does an attack, they wait 0.33 seconds. Is what I would say if it wasn't for this thing. So this first variable is how many times those 0.33 seconds get repeated after a punch is completed. So for this guy, it would take 0.99 seconds, or basically a second after he does each attack for him to actually do anything different. And that's only after he's lost a life. For his first life, it takes him over a second. It takes him almost 1 1/3 seconds for him to actually regain his bearings, which is crazy, dude. Like, and if you want to know how to change that, over here, yeah, okay, here we go. When you want to make, these blocks, like this thing, this will pop up for each and every block that you create. It won't be this exact thing, but something asking you to define what all the terms mean, because it's your own thing, it's not something that's Scratch made. But look at this, 0.33 seconds, right? Look, you can edit this. Ooh, he only waits 0.21 seconds, so now that times 3 is actually only 0.63 seconds that he's waiting, and that times 4 from like his initial life is now just 84 seconds, like 0.84 seconds, right? So you can actually narrow down the timing windows by editing this stuff. And don't worry, this thing is defined as reward weight, so that's why so this weight thing is not like uh a specific like editing thing, it's just the name of this that you have to define. So wait for a certain amount of seconds, which is this many. So like for this guy, it would be 3 to 4 seconds. 3 to 4 times this amount of seconds. And then for those other two things, you may have seen the 1 and 2, or like potentially 1 and 3. Set opponent attack to pick random, min attack to max attack. So it was always like 1 was the minimum attack, right? So, and then like either 2 or 3 was the maximum attack. So if it's a 1-2, it chooses between either attack 1, which would be a jab, or attack 2, which would be a hook. But if it's a 1 to 3, then it would be the minimum attack would be a jab, but it could also choose a hook. And on top of that, it could also choose the special attack. That's the really interesting thing. Oh yeah, and look at this. After the special attack, there's even more time that you get off. So that's crazy. But actually, let's show you these attacks just to show you how they work. Oh my god. Are you perfect? That's what he did. He did that simple thing. That's his third attack. Now let's go up right here. Oh, he did a punch. That's cool. Great on him. Perfect. Okay. So now we can just take a quick look at opponent attack equals 1. Boom. Just a jab. So those are how his punches work. And you can see here, you can see how he does it. Oh, glide 0 1 seconds back, right? And that's right after this. Punch 1. And this establishes this go to X right here establishes where he'll be when he starts the attack. So he starts there, which ensures how far he'll have to travel. Look at this. Ooh. pretty crazy. Look, I can just make him kind of spaz out here. Then we wait one more second. Not like rocket science here or anything. Then we go to punch 2. Oh, he's opening his legs. Now let's look at this. Ooh, ooh. He's kind of signaling it. He's opening his legs, right? Then we wait 0.25 seconds. Ooh, that's quite a bit of time. He goes for punch 3. Oh, he's not red anymore, but he's looking down at you kind of ominously. Ooh, look at that weight. Ooh, yeah. Now he's doing the ominous look. That's pretty cool. Then, oh, look at this. Said opponent punching to 9. That means that if he hits you, he'll deal 9 damage to you. And of course, if that weirds you out and you're not working with Cappie's engine specifically, you can just set this to -9 because you don't have the thing to change it to negative, or you don't know how that works really. I don't really either. Set punch type to 4. That means that you can dodge it any way you want. His stuff is not directional at this stage in the game. Set star get to 0. You can't get a star anymore. You could get a star like this, which basically means that well, if the first one of these letters is a U, then that means you get it from high punches, upper stuff, right? Up. But if you get it from but if it's a D, then you get stuff from lower punches, so that's like down, right? And then if the second letter is, or if it's a B, then that means that both high punches and low punches will get you something. But it has to be from a specific direction, right? If it's an L, only left punches will give you that. So if it's a UL, only a high left punch will actually give you the star. If it's a UR, then only a high right punch will give you the star. And same thing goes for DL and DR. But if it's a B, then it doesn't matter which way you punch, if you punch left or right, as long as you're punching on the right elevation to match with the first letter, right? So if it's BB, you can hit in any one of those 4 places and you'll be able to get the star, which is pretty dang overpowered, if I do say so myself. Then we have, let's see, yeah. Oh yeah, so then after a little bit, set opponent attack to -1. I think, oh wait. Hmm. I don't know why it's -1. Oh, I never really thought of that. But other than that, you can see the opponent punching is set to 0 after a little bit, and here we got the stuff for deciding what the next attack is. You got the little wait here, just to add even more time, 3.3 more seconds. Boom. Now we put it all together. Now we got the hook. Oh look, it's got a DL, see? We can only hit it with down and lower punches, so we can only hit it with one type of punch. With the jab, with anything goes. So the hook's already a lot more dangerous. But it's kind of slower, and you can kind of tell it's a special attack, can't you? And of course, you've seen this. Look, he goes to 3 different places. He glides 0.5 seconds over to here, glides to here, glides to there. So the attacks are not easy to craft, and if you need any more help with them, I am very thankful and able to provide it. However, this is just a simple guide through of the attack. Well, not simple, but it's an overview, right? Like all of the important things are here from a base level as far as attacks go. You can get rid of this, and I'm looking forward to seeing what what work you do on our game. Punch Out Champions. Hope you're feeling good, and hope you continue to have wonderful days. Bye. Cappie Rocks 2019 or whatever. when you, oh wait, it's all the way down, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So basically, if he's not getting hit with like the pain costume or the hit costume is like high punches, pain is for low punches, then he'll do this. Oh wait. Never mind. Basically this thing is what makes him move his little legs.